Namaste. Before following any advice or practice suggested in this video, it is always recommended that you consult with your doctor as to its suitability, especially if you suffer from any health problems or special conditions. Yamajit, John Hollinsby Mayer, and Tridevi Chamunda Mandir cannot accept any responsibility for any injuries or damages incurred as a result of the exercises and meditations contained in this video. Namaste and welcome to our Tuesday satsang here at Tridevi Chamunda Mandir. I'm Yamajit and thank you for joining in. Please feel free to say hello on the chat function on the bottom of the screen. So tonight, this is the first night where I'm going to be sharing specific practices from my upcoming book, Kali Meditation, Book 3, Daily Practices to Ma Kali's oldest form is worshipped in the Kathmandu Valley. So we're going to do a couple of exercises from the book, from the 6th chapter and the 11th chapter. And I see a couple of people have, let's see. Namaste to Raphael and to Abhishek. So glad you could join me this evening. So for our yoga practice, we're going to be doing a very ancient free-form movement practice called Tandava Yoga or Tandava Kriya. And the Tandava is the dance of Lord Shiva. Really the dance of Lord Shiva and the divine Shakti, dancing the cosmos into being together, both within as well as without. And so this will be an opportunity to take part in that dance yourself. Now, something I'll say about this practice. It seems very easy, but I've been told that it can take as many as 10 years to truly master. And it's simply because in this modern world, it's so hard for us to just be able to let go and let the movement and the energy flow freely. So I've only been doing this for a handful of years myself, and I encourage you to try it for yourself and develop it in your own way. So just to give you some background information on the practice, very ancient, maybe as old as 8,000 years. It may possibly be the origin of asana yoga. The 11th century sage Abhinavagupta describes this practice, the yogic practice of non-dual Shiva Tantra, also known as Kashmir Shaivism. He specifically says the yoga of this tradition is different from the Ashtanga yoga of Patanjali, who lived about 1,000 years before. It was never brought to the West until recently because really there were just a few people that were still doing it. Somebody who was really fundamental in bringing this practice to the West is the author of several books, a man named Daniel Odier, a Frenchman. And if you look him up on YouTube, his last name is Odier, you'll see his demonstrations of this practice. The American yogi, Shiva Ray, does a form of it that she calls yogic trance dance. The 20th century Kriya Yoga guru, Ganesh Baba, who was a member of the Naga Baba sadhus, he taught a form of this to his students. The term he called it was limb limbering. And if you type in Tandava, Tandava, Kriya, or Tandava Yoga, or Kashmir Tandava Yoga, you'll also see a couple of other demonstrations of it, including those by Italian lady by the name of Excel Cipollini and Elizabeth Castanakis. And they have just beautiful demonstrations of this practice. So, some further information on the practice. The sun is going down now, and it is said that the ideal time to do this practice is at night. So we're reaching the end of the day. Wonderful time to do this is before sunrise, actually in the early morning, sometime between about 3 a.m. and 6. And a wonderful visualization you can have with this practice is to visualize, just imagine yourself in a natural setting in the night. As I said before, this is the dance of Shiva and Shakti, the dynamic and receptive, masculine and feminine principles that drive the universe. And as you do this yogic dance, you can imagine yourself flowing with the cycles of the universe and the cycles of nature. And I'll be kind of saying a bit of that as we do the practice. And at the same time, though, envision those same processes happening within you. One description of that experience in this practice is being pregnant with the universe. So it's macrocosm and microcosm together. The movements have been compared to Tai Chi, but there are no formal movements, nothing formally choreographed. It is completely you letting go and just moving with the breath and the body. In some ways, how I'm going to be teaching this is really my version of it. And I'm drawing from my own background when I was working on my master's degree and had my counseling practice, doing body-centered psychotherapy. So practices based on the theories of such psychologists and psychiatrists as Wilhelm Reich and Alexander Lowen, who has a wonderful book called Bioenergetics. So for this practice tonight, the main thing you need is a chair. Kitchen type chair will work very well, or a folding, stable steel folding type chair. You should be able to sit in it in such a way that both feet are flat on the floor, your hands on your lap, your back straight. You can always bring other props in, a cushion, for example, if your knees are kind of high, or maybe a folded blanket on the floor if your feet don't quite touch, or even the right size books. So I'll give you a moment to assemble what props you need. And while you do that, I'll make some announcements. So our meditation tonight is going to be a visual meditation called Trataka. So the meditation is going to be focusing on a devotional image. And the devotional image we're going to use is this image of the Mahavidya goddess, Chinnamasta. And I'll be moving her up very close to the camera for the meditation. But our puja and meditation for Friday night will be a fire puja to this goddess, Ma Chinnamasta. We'll be doing a guided meditation with that for her Tibetan Buddhist counterpart, the Vajrayogini. So I'm going to have this image very close to the camera so you can meditate on her. I'm going to purposely not really say much of anything about her symbolism or anything else on purpose, because this is going to be an opportunity to learn about her by meditating on her yourself. And what you're really ready to work with will manifest during this meditation. And it looks like somebody else signed in. Let me see who's joining us. See hello yet, so please feel free to say hello. And so on Friday, here we go. So this is, Deborah. Namaste, Deborah. I'm glad that your internet's connection is working for you. And I understand there might be some issues with CenturyLink going on right now. So if you lose your connection anytime during this broadcast, the recording will be on YouTube and you'll be able to access it and go and move along with the meditation. So let's go ahead and begin. So I invite you to find that comfortable position on your chair, feet flat on the floor. You may want to separate the knees a little bit further than you typically would for a chair yoga exercise. We are going to do our movements from the chair, but at a certain point, I'll invite you to carefully stand up. So there's some choices. You can close your eyes or have your eyes slightly open, a soft gaze. Maybe looking down toward the floor at a 45-degree angle. And I invite you to open your breath. Begin long, slow, deep, yogic breathing. Filling the belly and then the chest with the inhalation. And then emptying the chest, bringing the belly toward the spine as you exhale. Completely filling and emptying the lungs. And as you inhale and exhale, just begin to notice the subtle movements that occur with your breath. Maybe a slight flexing and relaxing of the lower breath as you inhale and exhale. A slight rocking motion. Whatever it is, just observe those movements, honor them. Just allow them to happen. No right, no wrong. Just moving with the breath. And just beginning to notice how moving with the breath, along with the deep breathing, it's very good at stilling the mind. Just feel those thoughts going on the back burner. And another way you can still the mind is by incorporating a mantra in this practice. So as you inhale or as you exhale, maybe just a simple mantra like Om, silently repeating it as you inhale and as you exhale. Or some other mantra of your choosing. And just check in with some areas where we tend to hold tension, and let those areas relax with the out breath. So the forehead, around the eyes, the face. Let the jaw relax. Maybe move the jaw and the tongue a little bit around. Just let that tension go. Let the neck begin to move. Begin to find different ways to move the spine. Forward bends and back bends, swaying forward and back. Movements from side to side. Gentle twists, back and forth. Focus on the area of the diaphragm. And let the breath and the movement loosen the diaphragm. And also begin to feel the ribs separating and coming back together as you inhale and exhale. And then let the movement begin to come into your arms and your legs. The arms and the hands and the fingers. Letting the hands move independently of each other, but still in harmony with the breath. Get the shoulders involved. And the pelvis too. So many of us, especially us men, tend to keep the pelvis very rigid. Give yourself permission to move the pelvis in any possible direction. Again, no right, no wrong. Just letting the breath and the mantra move the body any way that feels right at that moment. Letting go of thoughts. Letting go of judgments. Now you can remain seated in the chair for the whole practice. You can still move the legs, the knees, the feet, the toes. Or if it feels right and you feel safe, straighten your legs and come to standing. Keeping the feet planted firmly on the ground, but dancing like the clouds and the stars overhead, and the planets moving around the sun. And the currents of air that envelope the earth, caressing the earth, clouds moving in different directions, winds blowing, moving the branches of trees and plants, rivers flowing, the waves of the ocean moving in circles and back and forth movements on a beach. Join in the dance of the birds of the air and the animals that live within and without the city. And the insects in flight, bees moving from flower to flower, fish swimming in the oceans and the waterways. And then begin to feel all of those things within yourself, outside your physical form, but inside too. The intertwining of the dynamic and receptive energies of Shiva and Shakti, driving the cosmos within and without. You can check in with your body and focus your breath on those areas where there still might be some tension, maybe a little reluctance to move. You can even place a hand on those areas, like the throat, the solar plexus, the heart center, and just feed those areas healing energy. Feel those blockages leaving, those knots untying. You can be breathing in and out the nose, or inhaling through the nose and out the mouth, or just breathing in the most comfortable way, especially if you're fighting allergies like a lot of us are this time of year. But just moving and being at this moment. And then I invite you to just begin to let the movements continue. Let them become a little more subtle, gentler, easy flowing, slower, Clouds moving ever so slowly across the sky. Or gently flowing water. Or a flower slowly opening and closing with the cycle of the day. Keep the breath. Keep the mantra. Move in any way possible. It feels right for the moment. Remember the diaphragm and the pelvis and the jaw and the tongue, the neck, and both front and back, and the throat. Just all the ways that the spine can move. And then if you're standing, I invite you to very carefully return back to the chair. Letting the movements continue. Flowing gently. Flowing freely. Upper back, mid back, lower back, arms, legs. And then just let your hands come back to your knees. Like we're shifting our awareness from that outside cosmos to that inside cosmos. Movements becoming smaller and slower. Maybe giving some energy or some subtle massage to some areas, like your knees or hips. Coming closer and closer to stillness. Still breathing deeply. Still employing the mantra if you chose to do that. Sitting relatively still, but appreciating any subtle movements that still might be happening. And finally, letting your breath return to normal. And just sitting quietly in stillness and in silence. If thoughts or mental pictures or memories manifest, just let them come and go at a safe distance. Just observe in a detached manner. A lot of natural healing on a psychological and a spiritual and a physical level can take place in this still, silent place. It's the same goal we strive toward in Yoga Nidra, in Kriya Yoga. Maybe you observe some concerns of the day that you see them from a distance and you're just ready to let them drop away. It's a good place to do that. Finally, just feeling the effects and the energies of this practice. Feel that divine universal energy, that energy of Shiva and Shakti, just permeating your whole form. It can help you sleep soundly tonight. And it can energize and guide you in the day ahead. Just letting the rest of those energies ground in the heart center, like a storage battery. Bringing the palms of your hands together at heart center. Giving gratitude to yourself for taking part in this exercise. Making the affirmation that you'll continue to try this on your own. Maybe you wake up in the early morning hours. Wonderful opportunity to do this. Or just setting aside a time. Slowly opening your eyes, still with a relaxed gaze. And namaste. And hopefully you feel just very relaxed, but at the same time filled with those really constructive energies. So we did about a 25 minute practice. If all you can do is 10 minutes, hey, short practice is better than no practice at all. And just gradually Lengthen the time till you become more and more comfortable with it, till maybe you're dancing the dance of Shiva and Shakti for a full hour, maybe more. But just allow yourself to enjoy this. Thank you. So, our meditation tonight, as I mentioned before, is called Trataka. And this is the meditation of focusing visually upon an object. So that object can be a yantra, spiritual diagram. It could be a picture or painting of a favorite deity, or it can be a murti, a devotional statue or statuette. Any of those things will work. You can also do this practice with a candle flame. In fact, a lot of people do candle meditation, which is Trataka. Or you can just focus on something in nature, something in your garden as well. Any of those things will work. Tonight, our goddess of the week, Chinnamasta, known as the Vajra goddess, the energy, the lightning goddess, the diamond goddess. The cutting of her head, her own head, represents the fact that she is a form of the Divine Mother that literally gives everything for her children. And it also represents something that happens in our meditational and our devotional and practices where we've spent time doing this work, and we reach a point where we've done a great deal of healing within. And then we reach a point where we can no longer contain that healing energy. And we become healers to the community. We find some niche in which we can fulfill that function. So at this point, I invite you to sit back in your chair, maybe move your computer screen or laptop in such a way that that the image is approximate eye level. If the screen is just not going to work for you tonight, I invite you to find something else in the room. Maybe a special picture or a devotional image of your own. You can focus on that too. So Trataka, visual meditation, is an important focal tool in the yogic tradition, which is centered in the yogic function of dharana, which means concentration. Dharana paves the way for dhyana, which is deeper meditation. And finally, samadhi, non-duality and union with the divine. In Trataka, we focus on a specific object like this statuette, or something else like a candle flame. In this meditation, we'll engage in long, slow, deep breathing, softening our gaze, that is our drishti, as we look upon the object, and become aware of what the object of focus invokes on all levels of our awareness. So find that comfortable position with a straight back. You may want to adjust the light in the room. Make adjustments to your screen so it's as close to eye level as possible. If you wear glasses or contacts, it's often recommended that those be removed in order to prevent eye strain. It's important that the eyes be relaxed for this exercise and lack in visual clarity. Even though you can't see the image completely clearly, it's not going to diminish the power of the meditation. So take a minute, and to prepare, I invite you to close your eyes and just meditate in silence for a moment. Breathe deeply and slowly, expanding and contracting the diaphragm completely, inflating and emptying the lungs. Let the concerns of the day drop away and allow yourself to become aware of how you feel at this moment. What emotions are present? What thoughts? Are there still areas of the physical body that you notice any physical tension? Just focus on your breath and allow your breathing to carry away anything that's potentially distracting. Just breathe it away. And just allow yourself to find a sense of calm and a sense of stillness. Now slowly open your eyes to a relaxed gaze. Let your eyelids be partially closed to a level where the eyes feel relaxed and unstrained. Take a moment for your eyes to adjust to the light and continue the long, slow, deep breath. Now I invite you to focus on the statue, eyes relaxed. Maybe your eyes are focused on some part of the statue or the whole image. Just continue to breathe to clear the mind. And then as you meditate, become mindful of anything that the statue evokes to you on any level. Thoughts, memories, mental pictures, emotions, physical sensations, anything. Allow them to manifest. Honor them without analyzing or judging. And then allow them to just fade away naturally. And if you feel your thoughts wandering, just simply take a deep clearing breath and let your focus return again to Machinamasta and your inner being. Just breathing, focusing, witnessing in a non-detached manner. Allowing the process to flow naturally, like our dance earlier. So at this point, I invite you to now take a long, deep, clearing breath. Slowly close your eyes and hold that image of Ma Chinnamasta in your mind's eye for a while. Feel her presence in your mind's eye, and feel her presence within yourself. As with other forms of sadhana, Trataka is like a key, unlocking potentials relevant to you as an individual. As you practice this exercise and other sadhanas, in these days ahead, allow yourself to be mindful of subtle changes that begin to occur in your life. New insights, new attitudes, reduce stress, other opportunities. I invite you to take another deep and clearing breath. And slowly bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Slowly bow to this image of Ma Chinnamasta. Let yourself begin to move gently and mindfully. Become aware of your surroundings again. And then slowly open your eyes and return. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. So, like with a number of other meditations, I invite you to try this, selecting some image at home, and begin just a few minutes, maybe 5 or 6 minutes, doing this practice. And then again, as you become comfortable with it, You can lengthen it to even 20 or 30 minutes. And something I should say about the practices of my upcoming book and my 2 previous books. You don't necessarily have to do everything. I practice different sadhanas from time to time and move on to others. But find these practices in these broadcasts and in the book when it comes out. Find even just 1 or 2 that really work for you and make those your sadhana. And thank you again for taking part in this. So let's conclude with a short puja to Ma Kali. Like we did last week, with the intention that her divine energies will be there for us, guiding us through uncertainty, guiding us through the stressful times. That's right, Ringo. Always know you're doing something powerful when the kiddies want to join in. So take a moment, and I invite you to make your own personal intention, your own personal sankalpa for our puja tonight, for yourself or someone close to you, or for humanity at large. I invite you to again bring your hands to heart center. And let's open with a single chanting of Om. Inhale. Om. Om. Pavitra Pavitro Va. Sarvabhastam Gatopiva. Yashmade Pandarikaksham. Savyavyanta Sushi. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Jai Ganesha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namah. Jai Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Kalse. Patona Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Sri Devi Namah. Jima Devi. Om Jayanti Mangalakali. Bhadrakali. Kapalani. Durga Shama Shiva Datri Svasvada Namostute. Jaya Tvam Devi Chamunde. Jaya Bhutita Harani. Jaya Sarvagate Devi Kalaratri Namostute. I invite you to join me in the mantra. Om Krim Kalike Namah. 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 Healing the power of the Divine Mother, protecting, healing, and guiding her children. And all of humanity. Jema. 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 Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityoma Amritagamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sana Vavatu. Sana Bunatu. Saviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu. Ma Vidvijavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tatsatom. Jai Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Ma Devi. Jai Ma Kali. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. And namaste. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Please join me Friday night, either at our temple. The puja will start promptly at 7, or you can always tune in on YouTube and experience it that way. So again, thank you for everybody for joining me. That includes Abhishek, Raphael, Deborah. Have a wonderful night and see you Friday. Jai Ma.